Tobacco smoking, the silent killer.
I treat cancer patients. Most of my patients are cancer, and most of them have a history of smoking. Some stopped 10 years, 20 years ago. The consequences are being felt now.
Eventually, people are left to die.
The trending ones like the shisha is what is on the increasing now.
Tobacco smoking is killing people. It is causing more harm.
Experts say each time someone takes a puff, 7,000 chemicals are introduced into their lungs. This puts all, including non-smokers, especially pregnant women, at risk. The World Health Organization, WHO, estimates that globally about 8 million persons die of smoking annually. For Ghana, a research by Atlas Ghana pegs the figure of smokers at about 780,000 for men and 24,900 women daily. Reports also indicate that more than 5,000 children in Ghana between the ages of 10 and 15 smoke cigarettes daily. Tobacco is said to be one of the leading causes of death in the country, killing more than 6,000 people annually, with at least 75 men dying from its usage weekly. The country loses 1 billion cedis yearly to the treatment of tobacco-related illnesses, as well as cardiovascular diseases and cancer. I encountered a 43-year-old smoker, Mr. Michael, who has been at it for the past 22 years. His physical appearance speaks volumes. As if the effect of tobacco is not enough, he smokes Indian hemp and drinks alcohol. A victim of tobacco addiction, quitting has become a challenge despite doctors' advice to stop. A worrying situation is his confession of how he sends his children to buy him cigarettes, a practice he knows can negatively influence them.
I've been diagnosed by doctors and I was told I should stop smoking, but due to the circumstances around, sometimes I do cough, but I used to vomit blood.
Medics say persons directly exposed to tobacco smoking or inhaling the smoke have become passive or second-hand smokers and stand the risk of getting kidney and other cancerous diseases, and this kills about thousands of persons yearly in Ghana. So, this was what I exposed myself to when conducting this interview with Mr. Michael.
Even some people who themselves didn't smoke, but if they happen to be married with persons who smoke, and being passive smokers, they develop the cancer, and the person who doesn't smoke, the person who was smoking is walking around. So we've got a few patients like that.
In fact, it affects even the non-smoker, what we call the passive smoker. So if you happen to be in the presence of somebody smoking and you just inhale it, you are at much danger as the person is smoking it. That's why we have laws that has banned public smoking.
The tobacco plant is said to contain nicotine and other harmful chemicals, including carbon monoxide, benzene, arsenic, and formaldehyde. Tobacco comes in different forms, such as cigarettes, cigar pipes, shisha, among others.
The tobacco products, either the regular combustible ones, the cigarettes, and the non-combustible, like the vaporizers, they all contain nicotine. And the nicotine is a substance that causes the addiction. So what it does is you can take in small quantities for the euphoria or for the pleasurable effects. That's why they smoke. After a while, you would even want to stop or you want to quit because it will be having dire consequences on your health, but you cannot. That's when we say that you've become addicted to the substance and you need psychosocial support to quit.
And so for quite a number of people, when they start smoking and their thinking is that, yes, they're going to take care of their anxieties and stresses, and then after a short period, these same tendencies show up, then there is the likelihood that they will go smoke again, by which time they gradually will be increasing, the quantity that they smoke. And that's when we say they will be increasing their tolerance level.
Water pipe tobacco, also known as shisha, according to experts, is one of the dangerous smoking products on the market. Presently, there are 4.7% of boys as against 5.4% shisha smokers in Ghana.
Shisha has become a fad where people are openly, they have shisha parlors and the rest, which is just going to increase our disease burden. Well, these are chronic diseases which don't disappear. You just lay the foundation for them, and then all you need is something to spark it off, and then you are in trouble.
Eventually, people are left to die, but they don't die because they suffer for a long time before they eventually, they die.
Today, manufacturers have added sweetened aromatic flavors to tobacco products to make it more appealing and attractive.
The flavor includes watermelon, grapes, orange, apple, and mango. A strategy not only enticing the youth to get addicted to smoking, but also killing millions of people in the world.
Studies have shown that a session, when we say a session is like, about 45 or 1 hour smoking of shisha is equivalent to smoking about 100 to 200 sticks of cigarettes.
The trending ones like the shisha is what is on the increasing now, and in fact, females who traditionally wouldn't have smoked find this trending. So we realize that female youth are patronizing this, and our education is targeted at them, telling them that these are not safe forms of tobacco.
The extremely cheap prices of cigarettes on the market, as low as 1 cedi 50 pesos, make them more affordable for most people. Tobacco products are consumed by chewing, sniffing, and smoking. Considering the figures from WHO and Atlas Ghana, the most popular places where people smoke are the beaches, pubs and nightclubs,
wow, what's a wow?
This 15-year-old boy prefers smoking in public toilets. Others also do it in obscure places.
You go see say I dey hold this thing, then you dey talk say but if I can't ask you one cedis, you no go give me say make I take get to life na live, you know. Maybe I die day. We dey find job, God, they don't want to give you.
A cursory observation revealed that sometimes some of these children, when playing, use instruments like paper or pieces of sticks to practice the art of smoking. 2 of the children, about the age of 8 years, were caught in the act smoking cigarettes. The causal effects of tobacco smoking are enormous. A visit to the various health facilities revealed many patients have been diagnosed with different types of cancers due to tobacco use. Tobacco affects the bladder, lungs, kidney, liver, hearts, nose, and throat. People diagnosed with tobacco illnesses are oftentimes referred to theater to undergo surgery.
Basically, I treat cancer patients. Most of my patients are cancer patients, and most of them have a history of smoking. Some stopped 10 years, 20 years ago, but the very mere fact that they smoked over a long period of time, more or less, the consequences are being felt now.
So the product affects from your head to your toes, every part of your body. It causes cardiovascular diseases, heart-related diseases. It causes tooth decay. It can affect your internal organs, your liver, your kidney. It causes infertility.
Consuming tobacco, is there any health benefit when it's coming to tobacco products?
There is actually no health benefit when the product it's being used, whether you chew it, you smoke it, or it's a snuff. There's no health beneficial, and there's no safe form of tobacco, and it has very dire consequences.
Aside from cancer, tobacco also affects one's breath, gum, and teeth, which may lead to filling and wearing of crowns.
Tobacco smoking is the leading cause of oral cancers in the mouth. And these cancers are really malignant. You realize that the cancers come on the lips, on the tongue, on the floor of the mouth, on your palate, or it might affect the soft tissues lining your cheeks or even in your throat. Tobacco smoking also delays wound healing, especially when they have cuts or we do tooth extractions or minor oral surgeries in the mouth. The nicotine in tobacco is a vasoconstrictor. And what it does is that it narrows your vessels or constricts your blood vessels so that there is inadequate supply of nutritional blood to the areas where the surgery has taken place or to the areas where you've had cuts in your mouth. So inadvertently, the wound will be delayed. Now, tobacco smoking also affects your immune system so much that it affects your white blood cells.
So, how does smoking affect our mental health? Let's find out from the experts.
Smoking, has been found to be associated with, depression. So for example, people who smoke are more likely to experience depression than those who do not smoke. And smoking indeed has also been identified as a risk factor for developing schizophrenia. And that's the reason why oftentimes we admonish people that if you've not gone in there, you don't make any attempt. And for those who have also gone in and they are struggling to come out, then they need to ensure that they are getting the right support so as to get out of it.
The addiction tobacco causes can then lead to other things, including getting addicted to weed, because people who smoke weed would have started from tobacco and alcohol. So they start on a small scale and then they graduate. So tobacco is dangerous.
Isaac Ampoma, who started his smoking habits while in senior high school in 2009, stopped in 2021. It started when his seniors used to send him to buy them cigarettes.
Once I went to buy it for them and I tried it, that was it. I smoked for years.
What lessons did you learn from smoking? And how did you stop smoking?
I came to have a lot of information about how deadly it was, and we almost lost a friend. He was coughing blood and all that. He was a chain smoker. So we almost lost him. It was God that saved him. So since then, it was like a turning point for most of us.
A research by Atlas Ghana indicates that about 4,422, representing 66% of smokers, die prematurely before age 70.
And then as a country too, we also lose a lot of, revenue, or we lose a lot of, money, or the economic cost of tobacco is moving around 97 million, Ghana cedis. Eventually when people find themselves in the hospitals, then the cost of treatment becomes an issue, and mostly the National Health Insurance, is not able to, accommodate, this kind of diseases like the cancers that I've mentioned. I wouldn't say entirely, but the very chronic ones, like the cancer of the liver, of the lungs, respiratory conditions, so all of this, amount to so much cost to the country and even to the individual.
Tobacco advertising laws ban contents that may persuade people to buy, smoke, or use tobacco. It bans promotions and other forms of advertisements, including images, audio, or video sign, or symbols. These are trademarks published for the public to appreciate the dangers associated with tobacco products.
And I know that the Food and Drug Authority have the mandate to regulate, the sale, the use of tobacco products in the country. Unfortunately, we have not seen much of, the enforcement bit, especially with respect to smoking in public places, because we still find people smoking in public places. We still find, many facilities, the hotels, for instance, they violate, the laws.
There's an absolute ban on tobacco advertising, promotion, and sponsorship. So you do not see the celebrities advertising like they do with alcohol. In fact, even to alcohol, we've been able to stop them with our guidelines, and now you do not see them advertising. We've been able to even restrict alcoholic beverage adverts to 10 p.m. Yes, but for tobacco, those are absolute bans. So if you are seeing any role model or any celebrity, then it's criminal, and you should just draw our attention to it. When we see giant billboards mounted by even real estates doing adverts with somebody with a cigar, we find them. We pull it down.
The bone of contention over ban on tobacco smoking has to do with enforcement. Although the Public Health Act 2012 is against smoking and other entertainment platforms, but our checks reveal that enforcement is a major challenge.
God forgive me. God forgive me. Why? Because I love my vices. I love my smoke, I love my wine, I love my fast cars, my clubs. I used to love my women.
So there's another law that allows that if you would do movies and show scenery of tobacco use, probably it is not advertising, but to tell the moral aspects of it, to tell the dangers involved in using tobacco use, then you would have to subtitle and write these negative effects under the movie. That's what we are seeking to do now. The law allows that we censor them and classify them. So we are collaborating with the agencies that do the movies, Ghana movie industry, those who do censorship, the classification, that we can be able to enforce this aspect of the law as well.
You are talking about enforcement. Yeah, the enforcement is the problem. How to enforce the law is the problem. So why is it a problem? It's a problem because of commitment, to enforcing the law.
At the media engagement on tobacco education, lawyer Edwin Arthur said at his tender age, his father used to send him to buy cigarettes. Experts are against such practices and advise the youth to stay away from tobacco products.
These days, also in the past, some of us were sent to go and light a cigarette. I did it, and then unfortunately, I think the fire was too hot, so the cigarette fell into the fire, and it caught fire, and there was wahala for me. But you see, morally, you as a father, you as an elder, is it right, is it morally right for you to send me at that tender age, I think I was 5 or 6, to go and light it for you?
While the challenge has been thrown to the media to create the needed awareness on tobacco risk.
Part 6 of Act 851, which is the Public Health Act, specifically talks about tobacco control measures. So as a journalist, going to set the agenda, as a journalist, going to educate, going to disseminate information about tobacco use, the dangers associated with it, and the need for the country to increase taxation on tobacco. You must also be abreast with Part 6 of the Act.
High taxation on tobacco products like cigarettes is one of the surest ways to control its increasing rates of consumption and the associated health risk.
Yes, price or tax measures are cost-effective means of reducing tobacco use. There's evidence to show that once they become comparatively expensive, they are not accessible. You restrict access, especially to the youth we want to protect. The law even allows that we don't sell single sticks, so that they are sold in packs of 10 and 20. But you know that some people will put their monies together and go and buy and share. We know all that. So as a country, even though Food and Drugs Authority are not tax experts, we are part of the stakeholders that are engaging for tax reforms. Ghana has the highest tax on tobacco when you talk about the sub-region, the West African sub-region. Okay. But it's not translating on the price of the product. We want it to be more expensive. So there are currently talks ongoing. I think it's far advanced. An NGO called VALD and Customs and ourselves and Ministry of Finance and other stakeholders, including WHO country office, is involved. That we think that our tax regime should change. Either we should have a hybrid, ad valorem, and specific.
Meanwhile, advocates and most stakeholders in the health value chain are calling for a total ban on tobacco imports.
Tobacco industry interference is very strong and it's everywhere. In Ghana, we've seen it. Even it took us about 9 years for us to pass the tobacco law, which shows that there are interference injuring one way or the other. The health damage that these devices cause is very high. Please, we are pleading with the government and all policymakers, the right ones, parliamentarians, that when this bill comes to you, you want to call for the ban of this new emerging products, which is shisha, electronic cigarettes, vape, and all other products that are coming to the market.
Due to WHO concerns about the harmful effects of shisha tobacco on human health and recommendations to all countries, Tanzania, Kenya, among countries, have banned smoking of shisha. On 15th December 2017, Rwanda banned smoking of shisha. In Kenya, it is an offense to smoke shisha. Smoking of shisha attracts a fine of 50,000 shilling or 6 months in prison. Beyond the harmful effect of tobacco, there is prevalent global crisis where scarce, productive land and water are used for cultivation of tobacco instead of growing more food crops. Thousands of trees have also been destroyed to make way for tobacco cultivation. The WHO estimates that tobacco is grown as cash crop on an estimated 4 million hectares of land in more than 125 countries, clearing an estimated 200,000 hectares of forest each year in the process. It further indicated that more than 80% of the 1.3 billion tobacco users globally live in low and middle income countries where the burden of tobacco-related illnesses and death occur. Kweku Bolton reporting.